Checo Pro Joe here on the Checo Pro Radio Show with Jon Phillips, a garage door expert from A1 Garage Door Service, based in Phoenix, Arizona, but they can be found nationwide. Hello, Jon. How are you?
I'm doing great. Got a beautiful, very rare rainy day here
Mm.
in Phoenix, Arizona. So enjoying the sound of the rain at home while I'm getting some work done. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, in Arizona, where you are, you don't really have to worry about mowing the lawn too much. Can happen if you have one, but it does have to rain. You have to irrigate it, but a lot of people have rocks and sand instead. So
Yes, I'm one of those people.
it's low maintenance. Speaking of low maintenance, we love to talk about things here, garage door, with my friend Jon Phillips from A1 Garage Door Service. And today we're going to talk about what a homeowner can look for in their garage. So, what's going on in the garage space?
Well, I think a lot of the calls that we end up going to are completely preventable. And I mean that we put stuff off to a certain point until it's almost catastrophic, or by the point to where we have to get an entire new system and it ends up being an emergency. So there's a few things that a client can do and a homeowner, and they can go out to the garage right now. So you can pause this video, you can go out to your garage and you can check a few things for me. One, you want to check the spring pad. And what that is if you have a torsion system, there should be a piece of wood that's right above your door. Now, that piece of wood is where all the tension of your spring is being held.
Mm.
So doors that, range from 160, 400 plus pounds, that's where all the tension happens for your counterbalance system. Now, I go up to these spring pads and they're cracked and deteriorated and pulling out of the wall. Now, if I can see it before it happens, I can address it and we can fix it. Not a big deal. It's a little bit invasive, right? But we can get it taken care of. But going to a call where one has busted and torn into a buzz saw, because whenever that happens, all the spring tension's done. Hopefully that didn't happen while it was moving, because now the door, depending on its position, is either going down from a foot off the ground or going down from all the way open. So that spring pad needs attention. So all you got to do is just go look at it. You don't got to touch it. Don't touch it ever. But if you see there's cracks and deterioration, it just looks rotted, get a garage door guy. Call A1. We have a whole training facility where we teach people how to do it, because spring pads kind of vary from house to house. You don't know what backing is back there. You don't know how it's being supported. We really train our guys on how to make a secure, last forever, only pre-treated lumber. I mean, the best stuff to make sure that that doesn't snap, because during the function of a door, that's super dangerous.
Yeah, no, I agree. We've talked about this before. You should, as the homeowner, keep an eye on your garage door system, I like to call it, on all the parts, on the door itself, the springs, the rollers, the hinges. However, keep your fingers, literally your fingers, away from these moving parts. The spring is extremely dangerous. Of course, you don't want to put your finger in the track with the, rollers moving, the hinges. I mean, you don't want to get your finger stuck between panels or a pinky.
It's
Um,
actually what happened right here on this
mm,
finger. It's never going to be straight again. And I'm a professional, and it can happen to anybody.
Yeah, and that's why Jon recommends calling out A1 Garage Door, because they're professionals at it. And I have to say, and I say this over and over again, of all things in your home that are mechanical, such as your air conditioning system and your plumbing and your electrical, the least expensive out of the whole group, including garage doors, is the garage door system. It's a lot less expensive to have A1 come out than the air conditioning guy or the electrician. And those are things, for some reason, people really want to look at, and they spend the money for that, but they often don't do it for garage doors, right, Jon?
No, and I mean, I get it. It goes up and down. That's all people are concerned about. I mean, before I got in the garage door business, many years ago, that I didn't understand that garage doors needed maintenance or to do anything with them. It just was something that was always reliable and worked until it doesn't. And not only like spring pads and where it's done, but something you can also check when you go out to a garage door is its balance. So garage doors, what happens is when you lift it up, wherever I let go of the door, it should relatively just stay right there. this is a balanced door. And to check this, all you got to do is whenever the door's down, don't do it while the door's in the open position because we don't know if it's balanced and we don't want it coming crashing down. All you got to do is when the door's on the ground, there should be a rope or a release cord. This is your manual and or emergency release. So you grab that, you pull it. There might be a pop, there might be a twinge, a weird sound. That's just it releasing from the operator. And when you do that, just lift up the door with your hands. If you can't lift it up with just your fingertips, and whenever you have it break through the overhead panel by panel, if it doesn't stay in place, potentially you have the wrong springs, your springs are wearing out, or you have a broken one. Now, all these things can lead to fatigue on an operator and wearing it out. These can lead to a door getting hung to where it's completely sideways. It can lead to the door falling. And everyone's like, not a big deal. Well, I don't know if you've looked at your door, but especially when it's overhead, above you, your cars, stuff like this, that doesn't seem like the best place for a door to fall. So let's just check that balance a little bit. If it's a little out of whack and it's a little heavy, just call someone and get it checked on. It's not that complicated. We can prevent a lot of bad things from happening. Just these simple checkups.
Okay, so there's a couple things to check. How about one more quick one? What's one more quick thing that the homeowner should be looking for in their garage?
I think if you have the opportunity, I would go and check the age of your motor. And you can find that because there should be a manufacturer date. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You can Google it. Motors usually last anywhere from 10 to 15 years. Do they last longer? Yes, but that's about when it's time to get a new one. So all you got to do is go check next to the buttons. Don't have to touch anything, but just go check to see if you can find a manufacturer date. If you have a motor that's so old that you can't find a manufacturing date, only leading more to my point to get someone out there and check up on everything because that's what's moving the door. Let's make sure that's in good health.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Jon, thank you so much for joining me today here on Check a Pro Radio. As always, you're the expert in garage doors. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me back on. Pleasure talking to you again.